So let's talk about what is Drupal. We're coming to this. This webinar is focused mainly on Drupal. Now, Drupal is a web application. Why is it a web application? Because it is distributed. Okay, so you have a front end for that, you have a back end for that, and you will also have the database layer. So it's a content management system. A CMS, what does a content management system mean? It simply means that it has some interface, like a form, in which I can put in some data and I can store that data. Okay. Now this CMS is built on PHP. It's open source and it's GPL licensed. So open source means that the code is readily available for download. You don't have to pay for it. You can use portions of that code in your own applications. Okay. Now, because Drupal has a lot of features, a lot of functionality, and because it's very scalable, it's used in a number of domains. So it's used in media and publishing, for example. It's used in the tourism industry. It's used in healthcare. It's used in e-commerce. I think the greatest applications of Drupal are in the e-commerce domain. And why e-commerce? E-commerce is all your shopping carts and all that, because of the ease and flexibility that Drupal has. So you can see that Drupal is a very flexible system in the sense that I can extend the functionality of Drupal. And it's not a very difficult thing to extend the functionality because it has hooks. It allows you to enter data in the backend. It allows you to filter that data. It allows you to even process it. Okay. Modularity, it means that the code has to be written in modules. Now, this modularity concept is an object-oriented concept rather. So you have classes in OOPS, object-oriented technologies, in which the purpose of a class is for data encapsulation. Okay. Another purpose of class is also for reusability. You can reuse a code if you write a class using something called interfaces. So the purpose of a module is, first of all, to break up one big piece of code into small pieces of code, which can be reused and which can be distributed. And Drupal enforces that kind of a way in which you can build your code. Secondly, it's scalable. Scalable means I can integrate Drupal with other third-party services. Like for example, what if I want to build an AngularJS application? So I can have an AngularJS application, which is the front-end interface, and I can integrate that with Drupal. And I can use Drupal only for the admin part. That is only to get content from the user, from the administrator, to process that content and give that content to AngularJS and let AngularJS do the rest. The biggest application of using a scalable Drupal system is in media and publications, where you have probably some magazines or some media publications in which you will be putting content in the backend, but you can transfer this content to other platforms in different formats, like the XML format or the RSS format, for example, something called feeds. Okay. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah, so continuing the topic on what is Drupal. Drupal has a huge repository of modules. So there are like thousands and thousands of modules over there. This is the flexibility part of Drupal. And for every little thing, there is a module. And this also has become the biggest drawback of Drupal because it has made programmers lazy. You don't have to actually write any code. Even for a small little thing like displaying the breadcrumb on the page, there is a module. So you can look up that easy breadcrumb module. Then it has a huge number of open source themes. Okay, some of them are paid, but some of them are free to use. And today, when we build an application, we are going to use one of those free themes. So you can see how to work with themes. And the best part of Drupal is it has one of the largest number of contributors in the world, contributors from different domains, people who provide support. So maybe you just Google for some Drupal request and you will get answers on Stack Overflow. Drupal also has its own communities and forums. You have a huge number of developers, like there are more than 1 million developers who not only contribute to external modules, called the contributed modules, but they also contribute to the core, to building the core of Drupal. Then you have documenters. Drupal is one of the best documentations. If you go on Drupal.org, you will see a huge list of documents. Then we have strategists. This is very important because strategists are people that decide what goes into the Drupal core and how the architecture of Drupal should be built, etc. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so this is the Drupal stack, this picture that you're seeing. Now, what is the Drupal stack? It just means how the Drupal architecture is built. Okay, so Drupal 8 and 9, they are built on the Symfony framework. Now, Symfony is another framework which provides the core services such as routing. Routing is when an address is given to it, that it creates a request object. It will pass that request object to some controller which does further processing, and then a response is written. So Drupal core, the developers of Drupal, they don't want to rewrite this entire thing all over again. So they have used services from the Symfony framework, okay, which does all this request, response, objects, etc. So the routing is handled by Symfony. On top of that is built a Drupal core. It's also called a Drupal kernel. In that Drupal core, we also have some modules which are called core modules. And I mentioned earlier that Drupal enforces core to be put in modules so that these modules can be reused. Okay, so some of the core modules are mentioned over here, like node, block, views, user for user management, and we'll discuss some of these terms later on in the presentation. Then there are modules which other people have also contributed, which is called contributed modules. Custom modules are what you will write specific to your project. Okay, and above all these things, we have the theme layer. Now, the theme layer is responsible for taking the content. So Drupal core is like the main controller which will coordinate with all your modules. All this content will then be generated and sent to the theme layer. The theme layer will process this and it will finally render the output to your web browser. So this data is sent to your web server, and the web server will then send the data back to your web browser. Okay, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so this is what I was just explaining. How does this entire mechanism work? So from your local computer, I pass an address like mydrupalsite.com/hello world. Okay, from the browser. The request is made to the remote computer or to a web server called Apache or Nginx, whatever we are using. And then based on the document route, the project is looked up by the web server and the request is sent to index.php of your drupalsite.com project. Okay. In index.php, it will construct this request object and it will pass the request object to the Drupal kernel. Our Drupal kernel is also called the Drupal core. And what is its responsibility? Its responsibility is to initialize Drupal, called Drupal bootstrapping. Okay, so bootstrap is a word you might have heard, like a computer getting bootstrapped. It just means self-startup. So Drupal also has a bootstrapping process which starts up the entire application. It will take services from the Symfony framework. It will initialize all your core modules. It will also initialize your contributed and custom modules. And then it will try to process the content for the page called hello-world. Okay, so it will, if hello-world is an article, then it will take services from the node module. The node module will prepare the content. It will then send it to the theme layer. The theme layer constructs the response object and sends it back to your web server. Now the response object can have different types. It can be JSON, it can be just plain text, it could be XML. So based on the header, that information is sent to the web server and then it is finally sent to your web browser. Okay, so this is the basic process that takes place um, in a web application. So it's true not only for Drupal, but it's true for other web applications also. Can we go to the next slide? Thank you. Okay, so now we'll come to the installation requirements of Drupal. We'll be doing this installation. I'm sure some of you have already done this installation. Okay, so what we need is PHP. Drupal runs on PHP. So PHP is a scripting language uh, which runs on your web server, generally on Linux. Then we need a web server like Apache. A web server is what handles the request, looks up the document root, and directs it to the project. It also is responsible for loading the processor like PHP or maybe Python if it's a Python app, etc. Okay, then a database system like MySQL. So we need a database system for Drupal. Why? Because since it's a CMS, we need to store data somewhere, and data is stored in a database. Okay, so Drupal works with various kinds of database. I just showed three of them: MySQL, MariaDB, and Postgres. These are the most commonly used databases. They're open source. Also, Drupal can still work with Oracle, by the way. Okay, any database that is SQL 92 plus compatible. Now there are two main ways to install Drupal. There are multiple ways, but I've just specified two ways. One is we just download the tarball or the zip file from drupal.org and just extract it on your web server on your remote computer and follow instructions. The second way, which is the most preferred way, is to use Composer. Now, why we need Composer? Composer is called a package manager. Okay, if some of you all have probably worked with Visual Basic or maybe some Microsoft tool on Windows, you'll use the package manager called Install Shield. I think some of you all have heard of Install Shield, right? So Install Shield is similar to your Composer. Now, why do we need this package manager? First of all, the package manager, that's Composer, it takes care of your versions. So each module can have a version number, and the version number can change. If the major version changes, it means the main functionality has changed. Okay, and maybe your application requires some old functionality. It may not require some new functionality. So instead of you doing the manual process of checking and classifying and deciding which module to put in, Composer handles this for you automatically. So it's just the package manager. Then second thing is dependencies, which is the biggest headache because one module depends on another module and something depends on something else. Okay, so Composer will take care of those dependencies also, and it will pull those dependencies from the repository and install it on your application. So this is the preferred way. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, so let's discuss some Drupal terminology. Okay, so first of all, if you have worked with Drupal, you will very often come across this term called content type. So what is the content type? In the simplest terms, it is just the fundamental unit of content. It's just a piece of data that represents content similar to an object. So if you have worked with classes, then content type is similar to a class, except that it won't have any methods, just properties. And those properties will be fields. Okay, so if you have worked with C language, there is a data type called struct. That struct is what a content type is. So it is just a definition that defines your content. Now, an instance of a content type will be node. Okay, just as an instance of a class is called an object, so also the instance of a content type is a node. So node has node ID and it has the actual content. It will be stored in those fields. Okay, so Drupal comes with two basic content types, article and basic page. I will go to the next one. Yeah, so you can see this picture over here. this is an example of an article. If you look at it, article is like an abstract term that symbolizes or represents a collection of all these fields, just like your struct data type in C. Okay, each of these properties like body, commands, file, the author, etc. These are your fields. And when this thing contains data, it is called a node. So the instance of a content type is a node. The next slide, please. Okay, you will very often come across this term also. It's called taxonomy. So taxonomy is just a way of classifying your data. It's the way of applying a category for your content type. Like for example, we have an article content type. We may have different kinds of articles. Okay, so we could classify an article as maybe news or maybe as a blog or something like that. So these classifications like news, blog, maybe a column, okay, these are the types. Now, if you can see here, I use something called a tag. Okay, there is a taxonomy called tag. Now, these taxonomies are stored in an entity called vocabulary. This vocabulary is something similar to a dictionary. So if you work with Python, Python has a term called dictionary, in which you have a key value. Okay, in the same way you have a taxonomy, which consists of a bunch of vocabularies. So one vocabulary could be article type, for example, and then the article type could contain terms. Okay, terms like column, news, blog, something like that. All right, let's move to the next slide. Okay, now we have a block. This is also a commonly used Drupal term. Okay, so what is a block? A block is a box of content that can be displayed in a region. Now, if you look at this picture, you will see whatever I marked in red, these are blocks. Now, blocks may not always contain content. It can contain some piece of functionality. Like for example, if you look at the search block, it doesn't contain any content. The search block contains a form. The block below that, tools, it does not contain content again. It just contains a bunch of links. The main content block that contains content. So you cannot add content directly to a page. You have to add content into a block. And the block goes into a region. So let's see what is a region. The next slide. Okay, so a region in its simplest definition, a region is just a placeholder. So all these things that you see in yellow, these are placeholders. Okay, you cannot directly work with a region. A region is defined in a theme. In the theme file, you will tell Drupal that I have a region called secondary menu, a primary menu region, maybe a region for breadcrumbs, another region for sidebar and content, etc. So these are placeholders. Now I will be putting blocks inside these placeholders. Like in the previous slide, you might have seen that in the sidebar, I had two blocks, one for the form and one for the tools, right? So blocks are put inside these regions and regions are placeholders. Okay, so now we will take you through a workshop where we will install Drupal for you, and maybe you can do that workshop along with us also.
Okay, so before we start the workshop, I'll just show like what we're expecting to do in the workshop today. So since I think the hot topic these days is COVID, so I'm just trying to build a small example site how we can get those information into a website. So this slider, I've just set up a theme here. Okay, we'll be setting up a theme, contrib theme, and we'll be creating some content. And you'll see the daily reports like how many new cases were there, deaths, and so and so. So we'll try to show that on the home page as a grid. Okay. Next, maybe you all have that hospitals information, right? So we'll create a hospitals page where we can list hospitals along with the number of beds which are available and how many are vacant. And also we'll try to create some filter in South Goa and North Goa. And next, we'll see the detailed reports of each day. This is the report which shows the a summary, and this is the death, and this is the total distribution of the cases. And in the end, we'll try to integrate a simple contact form on the side. So this is what we are trying to achieve. Okay. I think we can start. So before to start, you can just type in, just simple, just type in Drupal download in Google. Okay. So next you'll get this site, Drupal download. Okay. And you can click on it. So first what we'll do is we'll use the Drupal download method. So let me go ahead and download a zip from here. You can just click on this. It's getting downloaded. I can wait. So I'm just trying to name this folder as workshop. Okay. And now I'm trying to open that site on the browser. Okay. So let me know if you all can't see the screen. Okay, again. Okay. So since I renamed this folder as workshop here, the downloaded folder, from the Drupal 9.9, 9.1.9, I renamed it to workshop. You all can name it anything what you want. It's up to you. And then what I'm doing is, okay, so since I renamed my folder on my WAMP as workshop, I'm trying to use it, open it using localhost/workshop here. Okay. And once we do this, we'll start with the Drupal installation process. Okay. So let me just hit enter here. Okay. Yeah, so let's continue. I'll select language as English. And then we'll go with the standard install profile of Drupal. Click save and continue. Yeah, so database name, you can name anything and just name it as workshop. This for the local people are doing on local itself. Okay, so normally the username is root and password is blank. So I'll just put this name database name as workshop, username as root, and then save and continue. Okay, so now it's doing the installation. Yeah. So this is a team, as Joe mentioned, there are like paid teams or like free teams. So this theme we'll be using for a project, and we'll be using the free version of this theme. And there's premium version also, which we won't be using today. And there are lots of themes. I think I showed it before about the themes part. So I just chose this theme for this workshop. Okay. And what we normally do on project in the projects is we normally don't install this ready-made themes. If the project is very complex, like some education websites or some e-commerce and all, we normally install the Bootstrap theme. Okay, and from that we build it, okay, from scratch. We try to create a sub themes. Okay, but for this workshop, we'll be using this country theme called Tara. So I think I reached the configuration part of it. So I'll just name the, so since we are doing it as COVID, so let's just put name anything. You can put any name on here. And then this is important. Just try to remember what you put here. For my project on local, I'm putting admin as the username and admin as the password. And again, the confirm password is admin. Okay. So just remember the username and password what you put here, so you can use it again later. Okay. And then put your email ID. I'm just trying to put, I'll just put my email ID, and then maybe we can select the region and time zone. It's not very important. We have to select whatever. And I think I'll select Kolkata. In the Asia, I should find. Yeah. So since you are working from India, you all can select this time zone. And this is required, like Drupal is an open source community, right? And lots of people do modify the code. They try to improve the code in Drupal and they post it on drupal.org. And then anyone who has set up a site can get the latest version and update their code of the website. So this, if you check this in the backend, you'll see option to update the code to the latest version. And then some notifications also you can get on email ID. Just trying to uncheck this. So I can keep, or I can check not required. And I'll just continue on this. So once the installation process is complete, you should see something like this, like how Joe's has shown on the screenshot. This is the logo part. This is my account user menu, and this is the menu, and these are the like the sidebar items, and this is the main uh, content area. Okay, so just let me just show you all the. This is the Drupal backend. So this Drupal 8 and 9 version have this manage tab shortcuts where you can add some shortcut links, and this is the your once you log in as an admin, you can view your profile, log out here. Okay, then this is the content area. Okay, so this is where all the data resides. Okay, so when this article and basic content type, what Joe has explained, whenever you create an article and basic content type, you can see this. You can open it here. Okay, so now there's no data, absolutely no data on the side. This is just from scratch. Okay, so there are some filter types by which you can filter by content types and publish and publish status. So this is the all the content area. So next is the structure part. Block layout, as Jose mentioned, I'll be showing you once the theme is installed. Content types, just to show. Article and basic content types are the ones which come with the Drupal installation. Jose has shown the screenshots of inside things, the fields which are there. Okay. Next is display modes. We won't be dealing with today. We'll be just dealing with the basic ones, that is full and teaser. We'll see it in the workshop later. Menus is the part what you see here. Now only if you go to the menus part, main navigation, you can see only one link is there, and on this only one link is there, and we'll be adding more links to the menu. And also you can see the user account menu and my account and logout. This is the same thing what you see here. Okay. So there is about a structure. I think one thing we missed is the taxonomy, what Joe has mentioned, like the categorization. And we'll be working with something called as views. So once you set up the content type, okay, once you set up the contents, add the content, then we do display it on the website, right? So for that, we call something called as views. Okay. And for this website, what we are doing now, we'll be doing this. So this is actually a view, okay, which will be creating list of hospitals. Okay, and also on this reports page, what we're building, this is also a view. Okay, and on the home page, you can see the grid system here, like latest three reports. So this is also a view. Okay, so as part of the workshop, we'll be creating these three different views, and there's something called displays, which I'll explain along with along when we are doing the views. Okay, so that's about the structure part, and appearance is where we'll be installing the theme now, and extend is the place we'll be installing the modules. As Joe mentioned, there are currently I think what we saw sometime back, almost 50,000 modules are there. So these are the modules you can see here. These are the modules which are coming with the core of Drupal. Okay, once you install the basic version of Drupal, these are the modules which are there, and you can see the check mark here. These are the ones which are actually installed currently, and this we can install, and then we'll be adding more modules. Okay. Yeah, so and the other things are the configuration. We can configure different things. So this is outside the scope of the workshop. There's a lot of things to deal inside that. People, We'll show you now. We have set up your account. There's only one user on the site, that is the admin which you created, admin user. Yeah, and so forth. Okay, so let's do one thing. So now you see the setup what you've done. Now you have to click on each. If you want to go to content types, you need to click on structure, and you have to go to content types, right? So this is not a very good method. So what we'll do is I'll just paste this thing. What you need to do is we install one module. Okay, you can go to that link. Okay. And you can see this is normally how a module page looks. Okay, they provide some screenshots and they provide some history about the commits, the code commits which are done. Like as I told before, there's a community, so anyone can contribute on any module. Okay, suppose you see a bug on this module, or suppose you want to improve the functionality of this module, you can just follow some method and then maybe add your code and improve it. Okay, but there's approval and all. The people are already like very experienced on Drupal. They approve the code and then it comes on the module. Okay, once you download. So for this, what we'll do is Stanley, this one 3.0301 is fine for this thing when
Yeah,
you're doing. Yeah.
yeah, sir.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
we'll do is there are two ways actually. If we go to, let me go to the extend part. Okay. So to install the modules, we need to go to the backend again, and there's something called as extend. And just so then we have to click on this install new module. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll download this. Okay. So we'll do it on local now. Okay. I'll go ahead and click on this. Show in folder. Okay. I need to just upload it in this format only. Tar all. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go to the section. Okay, upload a module or theme to install. I need to choose here, and then I'll select the downloaded one. Okay, admin toolbar. Okay, and install it. Okay, and it's getting installed. So once it's installed, we need to enable the modules. Okay, so you can see a link here called enable newly added modules. Just have to click on this. Okay, hope everyone is able to install it. Okay, and once you install, you get the screen. I need to click on this. Then we reach this extend screen. Okay, now we need to search for that module, admin toolbar. Okay, so we'll just enable this one part of it. Okay, once we install the module, we get many different things. We can select this one and install. Okay, so now you see instead of clicking on this, you can see once I hover on this, I get the sub level menu. Okay, now I don't do just don't need to click on structure and go to views or go to content types. You can just hover on this and just go to content types. Okay, so this is the functionality which this model gives. Okay, so once this is done, let's move to the theme setup. Okay, so I'll install the theme. I'll just open this theme here, and then to install the theme I need to go to appearance. Okay, so this is the place where all the themes and all stuff are getting used. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and click on, as you can see, this is the default theme which is used. Okay, it's saying Batik and the default theme, and this is what you'll see on the. Okay, so for the people who are doing on Pantheon, this will be the layout. Okay, it's not bad, just a basic one. So I'll go ahead and install the new theme. Okay, I'll click on install new theme here, and then I'll choose the downloaded file. So I'll choose, this is the zip, I think the tar which I downloaded. So I'll just upload this and click on install. Okay, now the theme is installed. Basically, it's in the code now. So install newly added themes. Okay, so now the theme is come, but it's not showing up on your website. Okay, because you're not enabled it or set it to default. So once you install, it should come somewhere down here, the new theme what you installed. So you can select this option, install and set as default. Okay, I hope everyone is following. Under this appearance part, once you install, you can come to the appearance again, and then there's option here, install and set as default. You can install it and set as default later. Okay, but we'll do it at once. Okay, so I'll just click, go ahead and click on this install and set as default. Okay, so now you can see the install theme is come here. It's saying as default theme, and user guide and settings are there. Let's come to the settings after some time. So let's see whether it's coming on the website. I'll just refresh this page. Okay, and now you can see the theme is come. Okay, it's no longer showing the blue header and all. Now it's the sum of the data is not there. Okay, we need to get the data while we're installing later. But for this workshop, won't be putting any data from the theme. Okay, we'll be using just the basic what is coming. So now this is the footer is coming, this header is coming, this home link is coming as expected, and some banner is coming. Okay, so each theme has configurations of their own. Okay, so if we go to appearance and if we go to settings, you can see we are under the theme Tara, and there's some settings. Okay, and this the way the settings are laid out on the screen, on the settings screen, is completely different for all different themes. Okay, suppose you want to install a complete, like a totally different theme here. From here, if you want to install something else. Okay, maybe a bootstrap thing, the thing which will come up here on the settings page is completely different. Okay, let's see about the Batik theme also, which is there. Let's click on Batik. Okay, so you all can actually play around with the colors of the header. Okay, for the, like, the people who are not able to install the theme, so we can play around with the colors. We can change the colors to something else what you'll want. Background color we can change. Okay, some settings are there. We can change the logo. Okay, as you can see, this theme is giving some logo, Tara. Okay, so you can actually go ahead and if you select this and check this, you can upload your own logo. Okay, here also the favicon icon we can change many other things. So for the theme Tara, we can also change, because but we are only using the free version of the theme, not a premium version, so we don't get this many options. Okay, also it won't be changing much here. The slider, as you can see, we are getting a basic slider in the one image, but we can actually change the slides, but we need to put the HTML code here. Okay, if you can follow this documentation page, this documentation page is there. Okay, if you open that, they are given the way you can add the slider, okay, images and all. But we won't be doing it as part of the workshop. Okay, because this is, we want to go into the content building of Drupal. Okay, not the visual appearance too much. Okay, so that's about the different options what we get, settings what we get. Like there are lots of things, the footer and all. If you don't want to show the copyright text, if you uncheck this, what will happen is this, I think this copyright text will go. Okay, so you can play around later and see how the different things are happening. If you want some additional CSS, is not possible for the basic version, and some other things. Okay, so these are the basically how the theme settings are done. Okay, so just to show it again, need to, so this is a place where you'll manage all the themes. Okay, and you just need to click on appearance. So this is a default theme. Always make sure you understand this default theme. Okay, because now this is no longer default now. So the theme what we install now is default, and then you can go to settings part. Okay. So till now we have some look for a site, and for the Pantheon users, it will be blue, and you all can try changing the colors and stuff. Okay, so yeah, so let's move to the part 3. So just concentrate now. So okay, so as I shown before, I think this is the site. So what we are trying to build now, as of now, we have only the home page with a slider, and this content is also not there. Okay, so the first thing what we'll do is we need is information of hospitals, right? So we need to store the information of hospitals, and the second thing what we need is the reports. Okay, the daily reports. So we'll be building two content types. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so on your website, okay, you need to go to structure and content types. So you'll see Joseph already explained about the ones which come with Drupal installation, that is article and basic page. Now we'll go ahead and create new ones. Okay, go ahead and click on add content type. Okay. So for the reference, I given this. Okay. First, I'll try to recreate this part. Okay, not completely. Okay, as you all can see, I think you all it was posted many days like last month and all. It used to be posted on social media about the hospital beds availability in different hospitals, and it's there on the Go Online side also. Just try to recreate this thing on a website. Okay, so we are inside the content type. So I'll just name it as mm, COVID hospitals. Okay, this is the main page. What you'll see. Then just put a name COVID hospitals. Okay, so this is the name of our content type what we are creating. Okay, so the title label you can actually change or keep it the same. Okay, publishing options. Normally, what we do is we don't keep this on most of the time. Create revisions. Just uncheck both of this. Okay, and keep the published one. Even this we can remove. Okay, if you uncheck this, once you create any node, once you create any hospital, it will be unpublished by default. Okay, so we can keep it published for now. Okay. And this is sometimes required for the blogs and all, but normally we uncheck it. Just uncheck this one. For the menu settings, we don't want it in the menu directly, so we just uncheck this and then save and manage fields. Okay, so the COVID hospitals title published is published. Display settings nothing, menu nothing. Okay, save and manage fields. Okay, so for this content type, I don't need any body like the information, like basic information, like a markup, because as you can see, there's this hospital name and some numbers. Okay, there's no the description for the hospitals. So what I'll do is I don't want this body. Can just go ahead, click on this and delete. Okay, okay, follow till now. Then you can't see the field here, but every content type has a field called as title. Okay, which is a compulsory field. Okay, so there are other ways by which you can not make it compulsory, but actually it's getting filled up in the background. But for this, we'll be using the title field, and then I'll go ahead and set up the other fields which are required. So what we require is hospital name. We are actually using the title of the content type. So I won't be setting up any other field. I need a field for all these types. Okay, the four counts. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that here. So I'll just go ahead and click on add field. Okay, so these are the different field types what we have in Drupal. And once you install some modules and all right, there are a lot more fields which are added up. Depends on the module, what module installed. If you want a range, a field and all, you can install that. then we'll get more options. Okay, so since what we need here is just the numbers, okay, integers, I'll just create a field with type number integer. You all can see it here, right? Number integer. Okay, just go ahead and click on this, and for the name I'll just use the same name here, total COVID beds. Okay, and I'll just save and continue. Just notice one thing here, this is the machine name. Okay, so this is the way it's saved in the Drupal database. Okay, this is the name what is used. If time permits, I'll try to show something about the Drupal database, but as of now we'll just try to focus on the site building part. So we can actually edit the name, but the machine names have to be unique. Okay, no two fields can have the same machine name. Sometimes we can use the existing field. Okay, so that time it's fine, but if you are creating a new field, the machine name cannot conflict with the ones which are already existing. Okay, so I'll just save and continue. I just need only one value for that. Save field settings. Okay, and we can make it required. Okay, for now we can set a minimum value because it can't go in minus, so we can go ahead and set a minimum value of 0. Okay, and then save it. Okay, and then similarly we'll all add the other fields. Okay, we need this one, and this one. So I'll just quickly try to edit now, and you all can do side by side. Okay, so manage fields, and I go to add field, and then uh, I'll go to number integer, and then copy this total vacant beds, and save. Okay, again save. So same thing what we need done for the first field we are doing for the rest. Okay, set a minimum value as 0, save, copy this again, total beds, add field again, number field, total ICU beds, save, just set the minimum value as 0 and then save. Again, vacant ICU beds. Okay, click on add field, uh, number integer, right, go ahead, save. Okay, and the minimum value. Yeah, hope everyone is followed now. I'm just continuing with the next part. We have built a hospital content type. Here you can see the content type here. Okay, we can see all the fields, and there's something called as manage form display, which we'll try to explore later. So this is the way the form is coming on the backend. Okay, and also the manage display part. Okay, I'll just talk about this little later. Okay, so other thing what we're trying to achieve is we want a filter for the this thing. Okay, as I shown, I want the North Goa and South Goa filter for the hospitals. Okay, so for that part, what we can use is the taxonomies. Okay, so Jose has already explained what is a taxonomy. Set up this content type. Okay, so what we need is actually a filter for distinguishing between uh, this thing, the North Goa and South Goa hospitals. So what I'll do is I'll go to structure and structure. It's not coming. Okay, I'm already on that page. I'll go to structure and taxonomy, add vocabulary. Okay, okay. I just came to this page and I clicked on add vocabulary. Okay, I'm clicking on this, and then I'm just creating a vocabulary called as hospital location. Okay, okay, and then I'll just save it. Okay. Uh, okay, now our vocabulary is saved. So I need uh, two different things for the vocabulary. Now I want North Goa and South Goa. So what we'll do is I'll go ahead and add two terms here. So you have to click on add term. Okay, I'll create some North Goa and let's see here North Goa and save it. Then one more term we can add South Goa. Okay, and save it. Okay, so if you go again to this structure taxonomy and then you click on hospital location list terms, you will see the two terms what we added are coming here. Okay, hope everyone has followed this taxonomy part. This is a little small exercise with the taxonomies. So and we'll try to use this in a content type now. Okay, so next is we'll go to structure again and go to content types. Okay, so we are into COVID hospitals. Again, we'll go to manage fields. Okay, so now we need to refer the category what we created in our content type. Okay, so this some now we'll go ahead and click on add field, and then we need to create a reference, right? So there's something called as in the select field, get something called as reference taxonomy term. So in our content types, we can refer to many different things. We can refer to a file, any content in this thing, but for this content type, we are referring a taxonomy term. Okay, so click on taxonomy term. Okay, and we'll name it, I think, hospital location itself. You can name it anything, okay, but I'm just using the similar name. And click on save and continue. Okay, and this is taxonomy term which we selected, keep as it is. And we want to select only one value. Okay, save field settings. Okay, and then we need to select. Okay, then we need to select the hospital location. Okay, this is a taxonomy what we created just now. Okay, just go ahead and select this and just save. Okay, now you can see a new field is added. This field is called as entity reference. Okay, now if you go to this thing, right, if you go to content and if you want to add a content, now suppose you want to add a hospital. Okay, you have to go to add content and go to hospitals. You can see the thing how it's coming up. This is the text box. Okay, so this is the hospital name, and this the number of beds, the numbers actually. You can use the numbers, or we can just enter the numbers. And this, if you need to actually type North Goa South Goa, okay, you can actually use this method. Okay, suppose you want to have a select drop down. Okay, a drop down instead of autocomplete. Okay, so how we can do it? So you need to go to we are in this hospital, COVID hospitals content type. You can go, this is the place to manage the form now. Okay, we can manipulate how this form is coming. We can select which fields we want. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click on this manage form display. Okay, so manage form display, and you all can see all the fields which are coming. These are all the fields which are coming on this form. Okay, some are here, some are here. Okay, so if you go to this, this is actually autocomplete. Okay, so if you want to select drop down, you can go to this and just click on select list and then save it. Okay, and once that is done, now you can see the difference. Okay, so instead of that autocomplete, you see the select list. Okay, so this is the purpose of this manage fields. Okay, and if you install some models called as field grouping and all, okay, we can actually divide this field into different groups. Okay, So for that, we are not doing that in this workshop, but we can actually manipulate some of the fields, how they're coming. We can actually remove this and put into disabled if you don't want the users to change them. Okay. So this is about the content type, COVID hospitals. Next, we'll create the content type called as reports, okay, which I set up previously on my side. So just go ahead and create that content type. Okay. Okay, I'll name the content type as daily report, and then title. What I'll do is open it here. Just hold on. Okay, yeah. So what we'll do is keep this as it is, and we'll do the same thing what we did for hospitals part for this too. We can remove these things, keep the published one, display settings, and check menu settings, and check this, and save and manage fields. Okay. So for this one also, actually I don't need the body field because I'm not adding any description. But just let's skip it. Okay, I won't remove it completely. Let's add the other fields. So I'll just show on the screen what we're expecting. Okay. So I have some COVID reports for the last 5 days. So the second, I think last. Okay. Okay. Let me. Okay, it's not allowing me to share the desktop one. Okay. So what I'll do is, you all can see the screen, right? You all can see the Drupal admin, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think it's not allowing to share the desktop. So I'll show the existing what we are expecting to add. So for this workshop, reports, if we go like this is the one which is the main report. Okay, what we get daily from the government. The other one is the deaths occurred, like for the detail in each hospital. The next one is the cases distribution by location, and the other one is the death details and all, but we won't be using that here. So what I'll do is I just want three fields here. One is the date when the report was published. Okay, the other one is the main report, and create a field for adding the additional reports. Okay. That's it. We won't be adding any other data. Okay. So let's go ahead and create a fields now. Okay. Uh, just first go and create the field called as actually, okay. So let's start with the content type. Anyone has any questions? Okay. Okay. So let's first I want a date field, right? I want to save the date of the report. Okay. So there's a field called as date here. Okay, just go ahead and save that and put a name called as report date something, and then save it. Okay, save and continue. And then we don't want the time actually. Okay, we just want the date of the when the suppose we are getting the report today. Yesterday we got to get only the date, right? So we don't need the time actually here. So we can select only date only option. Okay, and then save the field. So and default date, you can select the current date or just keep it blank. I'll just keep this as current date and save the settings. I think it's fine. Okay, I'm just selecting that for now. Next, I want to add the images. Okay, so I need image fields. So I just click on add field, and then I'll go to yeah, I'll go to click on image. Okay, I can name it as main report. Okay, and I'll go ahead and save and continue. Okay. Just keep these things as it is. All text by default. Any default options. If no image is selected, any default image required, right? We can put it here. If any content type is created without any main report image, this default image will be shown there. Okay, and I'll keep it as one field, this thing only, and I'll save field settings. Okay, next one. Okay, I think I need to do a few more things. I'll just remove this alt, but alt field is actually required for SEO purpose. Okay, and I can go ahead and save this. Then I'll add the field to add those two reports. Okay, so I'll add another field, and I'll name it as, I'll select image here, and I'll name it as additional reports. Okay, and I'll save and continue. Again, the same thing. So this time I want more than one image to be saved under that field. Okay, so we have option here called as unlimited. Okay, so you can upload any number of images. Okay, and then just go ahead and save the field settings. Okay, and then again, just do the same thing for this and save the field settings. So this is the content type what we want for reports. Okay, so if you go to the, if you go on content and add content of type daily report, okay, you'll see something like this: title, body, main report, description. I mean the additional reports. Okay, so this is we are done with the content types creation. Okay, so two content types we have created: COVID hospitals and daily reports. Now, miss, so let's go ahead and create the listings. Let's try to fetch the data, like what we'll be entering, and show it on our websites. Okay. Okay. So before we start fetching the data, let's try to add some data. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll go to content and add content. Okay. So let's first of all, let's try to add like few hospitals so we can use it in views. Okay. So I'll just go to add content and COVID hospitals, and I'll just enter the name GMC. Just add some dummy numbers now. Vacant beds probably 100. Total ICU beds 30. Maybe vacant 10. Then I'll select this whether it's North Goa or South Goa. So GMC is obviously in North Goa, so I'll just select North Goa and just save it. And then again I'll go to content, add more content, and COVID hospitals. South Goa District Hospital. You all can add your own data. Okay, just quickly add two things. Okay, South Goa. I'll just save it. I'll just add two more. North Goa hospitals. It's 200. Not sure the actual count, but I'm just putting anything. It's okay, maybe vacant 10. So again, this is in North Goa. And save. Again, add one more content. Content. COVID hospitals. The hospital. Maybe. Okay. Too much. Okay, and I'll save this. Okay, so for now, I'm adding just 4 hospitals here. You all can just add in the meantime. So if you want to see the thing what I added, always you can go to this content page. Okay, so it will show all the hospitals which I added now. Okay, so now later we'll be adding more this thing. So there's a filter which is coming up here, and you can see the status as published. So when we used to create the content, this thing, okay, hospitals, we didn't have to actually select whether it was published or unpublished, because while creating the content type, okay, if you go to edit, we selected this as published by default. Okay, if this was unpublished, so when we created all this content type, okay, this would have been unpublished. Okay, now since we have done it here by default, it's coming as uh, published. Okay, and this filter here, I'll try searching for daily report. There's nothing available since didn't add any daily reports. Okay, so again, this filter, I'll just select any here, and I'll just select unpublished. Nothing coming up because everything was there. What is added is published. Okay. Next, we'll try to add COVID. This in the daily reports. Okay, so I have the reports of the last 5 days. So let's try to add proper data so we can see it properly. Okay, let me continue on. So let's go ahead and add some content for the hospitals. Okay, what I'll do is I'll click on this add content again. I mean, for the daily reports. Okay, I'll go ahead and click on daily report. Uh, I'll just add some any title here. Let's add report for the reports for it. Okay, 2nd June I have the report. So let me just 2nd June 2021. Anything can be added. Okay, I'm just trying to keep this as very short. And then report date we need to select as 2nd June. And then the main report I'll try to upload text of the reports. Mention. Okay, just okay, uploading the main one, and then I'll add the additional reports to this one. Choose. Okay, so you can see on the screen. It's just for the first one. Okay, so I have selected the title for the report, and then the date, that is 2nd June, and then the main report I uploaded, and the additional reports are uploaded here, and then I'll say it. Also, you can see there's option to add more files. Since you selected the field as unlimited image field, so we can upload unlimited number of images. Okay, so I'll save my first report here, and then let's go ahead and add a few more. Add content, uh, daily report, report for 1st June, and then a report date is 1st June. Choose reports first. Okay, yeah, this one. Then I'll add other reports. Report. Choose again. Then this one. Okay, and save it. And go ahead and add the 3rd one and the 4th one. So add the report for 31st May. The text field, so anything can be added. Okay, again. So I'll go to May 31st. Choose from here. Choose 31st. I'll select this one as the main report, and additional reports I'll select as 24. Choose again I'll select this. Okay, and then I'll save it. And last one I'll add. Okay, add content, daily reports, report for 30th May, and then the date I'll select is 30th. Choose main report, 30th. Okay, so I'll save this one also. Okay, so if you go to the uh, content page with the listing page, you can see the 4 reports which I added are coming here. Okay, and all are published by default. Okay, so this is the data what we have now, and if anyone is for adding the data, just add a little, like at least 3 to 4 records. So let's continue the further part of it. So now comes the important part about views. Okay, now we have the content types with us, and then also we added some data so we can work with the views and all. So, so these are the things what I have. So what we need is we need to. So let's move ahead with the views part. Okay, so what we want is first we'll try to build a hospitals list. Okay, what we see here, and we'll put a link to our page too. So let's open the home page first. Okay, so as of now we have this. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a view now. Okay, so go to structure and go to views. Okay, once you're in the admin panel, go to structure and views. So these are the views which are there on the site, and views are nothing but a way to fetch the content which is added on the site and display in the format we want. Okay, either we can use a table format or we can use other grid format uh, for to display. Okay, so if I give an example, so here we are using the table format. Okay, so we'll be creating this view, and also on the home page we are using something called as the grid format to create this. So I'll just show now how we can create those things. Yeah, so I'll create a view, click on add view here on this page, and then I'll just COVID hospitals, maybe. Yeah, COVID hospitals of Goa. I'm using this name as COVID hospitals of Goa. And then if once you enter this name, it can be anything. Okay, but it will be used in the further. So after you added the name, we have to go to this part, view settings. Okay, and we can go to content. We can keep it as content, because actually the COVID hospitals and the reports is actually a content. Okay, as you can see, there are many options here. We can create a view of custom blocks, which we are not using today, but also we can do a view of taxonomy terms like the North Goa and South Goa. And also if there are users on the site, we can create a view of that too. Okay, so for this we are creating a view of content of type COVID hospitals. Okay, and then we let's keep it unsorted. Okay, we are not using any sorting for this COVID hospitals, so that's fine. Then there are two options here. Okay, so we can either create a page or create a block. When we create a page, okay, there will be a link created, and we can put a link in the menu. Okay, so for this hospitals, we actually creating a page view. Okay, so we can link it on the menu. Okay, and the block view is actually what we'll be using for this. So I'll show it in some time. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a page. Okay, so the titles will be, I think you can modify it and to anything. The path will be this. I'll just keep it as it is. We can modify it anyways, and I'll use the display format as table. Anyways, whatever we select here, we can change it further, like once we go inside the view. Instead of table, if you want to do it, show it in a different way in the future, obviously you can go in the view settings and change it. Okay, but from the scratch only, start only, I'm trying to select it as table. Okay, table of fields. Okay, so items to display, let's keep it. I want to show all the items. Okay, probably I'll just increase, but we have only 4 COVID hospitals. But just trying to increase the number in case you want to add more data. We can actually modify this number later inside, and then I'll click on save and edit. Okay, so the view is created. You can see the display type as page. You can actually modify this name also later. Okay, so this is the title which is coming. The format is table, what we selected. Okay, and for now, if you can see, we can see the preview here. Okay, it's coming. Only the title is coming. GMC, STDH, and the 4 ones are coming. Okay, so now we want to add. We want to show in the table format, right? And then first thing, what I'll do is I want the title of this column to be hospital name. Okay, so just copy this from here, and what I'll do is I just need to click on this. Okay, I went to the fields part. Okay, this is the place where we are selecting what fields are to be shown. Okay, so that we can create this table. Okay, so only the title is shown for now, but I don't want the name to be title. So I'll just click on this, and the label I can change it to hospital name. Okay, and I'll click on apply. Okay, next we'll add the other details. Now you just need to click on this add. Okay, click on add here, and then we'll just try to search for those, or we can actually use the filter here, content also, and then try to search total. Okay, we have these two totals here: total COVID beds and total ICU beds. Okay, so add those fields, apply and continue, and continue. Okay, you can see those two fields added here. Then we need vacant ones. Just click on add vacant COVID beds, vacant ICU beds, add and configure fields. Okay, apply. It's coming twice because we are selecting 2 fields at a time. Okay, otherwise it will come only once. Apply.
Horizon, you can show the preview mode at the bottom.
Yeah. So you can see this is the way it's coming. So total IC beds, vacant, and but I think we want total and vacant. So what we can do is, if you want to rearrange the on which okay. So if you want to rearrange the order, okay. So what you need to do is you need to click on this icon here, drop down, click on this, and there's an option called rearrange. Okay, now I want vacant COVID beds here and total IC beds, vacant IC beds. Okay, and I'll click on apply. Okay, so this is about the fields part. We are using format table settings, and then title COVID hospital, COVID beds. Okay, everything is coming here. We are showing only the published content. Suppose some hospital was no longer there. Okay, and if you go ahead, edit this and make it unpublished, it won't be coming in the listing. Okay, because we have put this filter here. Okay, published as, and this filter is actually getting the content type of type COVID hospitals. Okay, so I'll just yeah, and one more thing is, now we want to show it in the menu. The path will be this, but we have not added it in the menu. Okay, so you can see the setting here, no menu. Okay, just click on this normal menu, just select normal menu entry, and then menu title, I just put as hospitals. Just try to keep the name small. I put the name as hospitals, and then apply. Okay, and then let's save this and see if it's coming properly. Yeah, so once this is done, let's see if what we expecting is come. Okay, so now you can see the link is come here called hospitals. Just to show that again in case you're confused how the link is coming. In the under menu, there was no menu actually before. Then I clicked on that and I clicked on normal menu entry and I then added this thing. So if you want to come it before the home link and all, we can actually modify the weight, make it minus or something, then show it before the, okay, we can change the order using this weight field. Okay, so now this is done, and then you can see if you click on hospitals, you see the COVID hospitals in Goa, the title is coming, what we expected, and then hospital name, total COVID beds, everything is coming. Okay, and this is actually linking to GMC. Okay, but actually this I don't want it to link to that actual COVID hospital. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go to the view again. Just click on this content title hospital name, and there's a link option here called as link to content. Okay, and there are many other things also, like different things can be, we can actually exclude it from display. Okay, many different things are there, but this is very vast to be shown in this webinar. Okay, we need to explore the views part. Okay, so what I've done is I've removed this check and apply, and then save it. Okay, and let's see whether just, okay, now you can see the link, there's no longer a link to that hospital. Okay, and this is a simple view what we have. Okay, so this is the basic view what we created. Okay. So we are done with the view creation. So just one part of it is left, that is we wanted a filter, right? We wanted a filter by location. So let's see how we can add the filter here. So for the views, there's something called as expose filters. Okay, so now these are the filters which are getting applied in the backend. Okay, so once a view is getting generated, once the data is getting fetched, this is filter is getting applied, and based on that the data is coming. But what if you want the user to filter what they want to see, like this? Okay, the user want to see only North Goa, so the user should be able to select. Okay. So let's try and implementing that. Okay. So I'll just go to filter criteria here again, and then click on add, and then I'll just select for that hospital location. Yeah, so you can see this hospital location, this field will be coming up. Okay, this is in the COVID hospitals content type, and I'll add and configure filter criteria. Okay, so we're using the vocabulary hospital location, and then I want it as a drop down. Okay, not as autocomplete. Just change this option, and then apply and continue. Okay, and you can see it's one of this. And then if you don't want the user to see, then if you just apply this, okay, if you select North Goa, let's try this and see. Okay, now just save. Okay, and let's see what is the difference here. Okay, so you're only seeing the hospitals which are in North Goa, but we actually want to display everything and want the user to filter out what they want to see. Okay, so for that I'll go to the view again and just click on this, what I've done some time back. I'll okay, so I'm exposing the filter to the users. Okay, so now admin is not is responsible for filtering out. Okay, the user is responsible. So let's just check this box, and then let's apply. Okay, and then let's save it. Okay, okay, I think by default the North Goa is getting applied, so let me just remove what I done. Okay, I'll just remove this filter for now, just to fix that issue. Remove, I'll edit again. hospital location. Just select this, add and configure filter criteria, drop down, apply and continue, and then expose. Okay. And then apply again. Okay, and then save it. Okay, you can see the option here, exposed, and then we selected the taxonomy term there. Okay, now you can see everything is coming up, and then what we can do is North Goa, apply, North Goa District Hospital and GMC, South Goa, apply. Yeah. Okay, and now I want to see everything. Okay, so field location. Okay, this label shouldn't be there. Okay, let's we see something else is coming up here, but we don't want that. So let's go ahead and remove this. Click on this. I don't want this thing to be coming here. Okay, just remove that. Apply, save. Okay, now the thing is not coming. Okay, and the filter will still work. Okay, so we are done with one of the view. Okay, hope everyone got it. So next, what we'll do is we'll try to create this one. Okay, we want to show the latest 3 reports on the home page. Okay. So what I'll do is I go to the views again, COVID structure views, add a new view. I'll just create a view called as reports, and I'm using this name. Okay, you can use any name here, and then content again, and the content type is daily report. Okay. I'll work on the sorting inside. Okay, I'll keep it as newest first, and I'll create a block. Okay, because I want to show a block on the home page, not any page. Okay, latest daily reports is a block title. What I'm using. I'm trying to use a grid, so let's use a grid of. I'm just selecting teasers here. I'll explain what is teasers. Okay, and I want only 3 items. Okay, and I'll save and edit. Okay, so what I've done is I've used the name as latest daily reports. I've used the grid option, and then content teaser. Okay, and then it's coming, something is coming now. The name is coming. Okay, but we need more information, right? We need to something like this, the image to be coming up. Okay, so let's work on that. Okay, I've selected content and type teaser. So what is this? Okay, so let me go to the content type back again. I'll go to we are working daily report, so I'll go to materials, and there's something called as manage display. Okay, sometime back we worked with manage form display, that is how the form is showing on the backend, but now we are working with manage display. Okay, that's good. So whenever I install Drupal, normally you get either do one or two this thing, the display modes. Default is always there. Sometimes if you implement a teaser somewhere, then teaser will come, and then we can create our own custom view modes. Okay, these are actually called as view modes. So for the teaser in the view, we are actually getting only the report, the title. Okay, but we want to show also the image. Okay, the one of the image which is added. So what I'll do is I'll go to teaser mode. Okay, I need to click on this, and then I don't need these things actually. Title is like always coming. Okay, the title is always there, but I want to show report. Okay, I want to show the main report on that. Okay, I just dragged it from disabled and put it under field. And then I'll select the label as hidden. Okay, and I'll just select the original image and just go ahead and save this. Okay, and let's see what changes are done to the view in the admin side now. Okay, now you can see it's showing in a proper way, it's showing the title and the image. Okay, and we are using the grade, so it's showing in this format. There are many other settings here. Instead of grade, you can select HTML is stable and formatted, but for this one we are using the grade format, and we are showing only 3 items. Okay, so now this is not the format what we want, so it's showing 30th, first, 31st. It is showing the way like we edit the data. Okay, so we want a different sort criteria for that. So what I'll do is I'll go to sort criteria here. Okay, so this is important. I'll just click on this. No, I'll just click on this and then remove this. Okay, and then I'll add my filter what I want. The sort criteria what I want. So I'll just click on add. We have that report date. Okay, yeah. So we have the report date field for the daily report. I'll just select this and add and configure this thing, and I'll sort it as descending. So I want the latest first, right? So sorting is sort descending. Okay, and then I'll apply it. Okay, and then you can see now showing the latest one first. Okay, and then I'll save it. Okay, so we are done with this part. So the block is created. Okay, we have created this block. Okay, so hope everyone has followed the different settings what I have used here. Content teaser, and then this is remains the same. This is a new sort criteria what I added, report date, and then under the views, uh, yeah, under the manage display, I just changed like what I want to see. I've dragged the main report from the disabled part to, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it on the homepage now. So now I created it, but it's not coming on the homepage, right? And we need to show it on the homepage. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to what Joe said explain on the screenshot, the block layout. Let's explore that part now. Okay, go to structure, block layout, and then these are the regions what Joe was explaining about. The header top, the site branding, menu, primary navigation menu. If you see this, the main navigation. Okay, so this is the main navigation region. I'll just show it a little bit. And then what we have is the other blocks. This is a place where this is the main content block. Okay, and there are a lot of other blocks. Okay. So there's an option called as demonstrate block regions. For the Bartik theme, it will be different. Okay, I'm just showing it for the theme Tara. Okay, so this is a layout. Like so, whatever you add under the primary menu will be showing at the top right corner. This thing at this place. Okay, and whatever you add under, yeah, the site branding highlighted. There are many regions. Okay, for now we'll be only using the content region here. Okay, so let's exit this demonstration and let's try to add the block. Okay, so I'll go to place block, and then I need to select that, right, report. So what is the name? Yeah, reports. Okay, and I'll just place this. Okay, just can you can just try to search it this way, or like if you know the name, just try to can place the block. Okay, and I'll display the title, quotes, and content types, pages, roles. Okay, I'll just keep as it is for now. Okay, and let's see how it comes. Okay, and once that is done, you need to save it. Okay, so just load this page again. You can see this come, but I think the grid is not set up properly. Okay, but it's coming in this way. And then again also it will show up on this hospitals. Okay, but we don't want this. Okay, for that again you can see it's coming on up on this page also. Okay, but we don't want the reports to be shown on this hospitals page. So what I'll do is I'll go to the block layout here again, and then this is the view what we have. And then we need to mention. Okay, so I want to show it only on the home page. So there's something called as a wildcard option here. Okay, there's a kind of placeholder. So I want to show it only on the home page, right? So just need to put it here. Okay, for front. So this block will be shown only on the home page. Okay, and not on any other pages. Okay, and we can have the negate condition also here. Suppose you want to show a block on other pages and not on the home page, maybe we can just select this and save, so it won't show on the home page. Okay, it will only show on the internal pages. Okay, for now we'll just use this and save. Okay, and let's see whether it's come on hospitals page. Okay, so I can see it's gone from there and it's still there on this. Okay, grid, I'm not sure what's coming little smaller. Display items, feature, display all items. Stanley, can you see like why it's coming? Not sure why. What other thing I missed here? Should come all in a line. Okay, only three should come. Sure, let me just check the grid settings. Maybe the grid settings I didn't manipulate. Yeah, sorry about this. So I've selected on number of columns as 4. Okay, but in the view I'm only selecting the latest 3. Okay, so because of that it was coming like the space was shown on the right. So just go ahead and make this as 3 and then apply. Okay, now it should be better. Okay, now you can see what we expected is coming. Okay, the latest 3 reports are coming. It's coming in along with the margins. Okay, so this is about the latest reports. Okay, there's a few things more. Okay. So you can see, hope you all got the how the block placement works. Okay, so by default when you install Drupal, right, this is the page thing what will come. Okay. And this is the thing what will come because there's no option, no content which is promoted to the front page. Okay, there are other modules in order to remove this page if you don't want. Okay, but to solve this issue, what we'll do is we'll just create one content. Okay, just go to content and add a content of basic page. Okay, I'll just say it as about us. Just add the name as about us. Anything you can add. Just adding as about us and just put any dummy content. Okay, and there's an option here, promote to front page. Okay, so any of the content on the side, if it's promoted to front page, right, that issue will be solved. Okay, so what I'll do is the content what I created a basic page, what I'll do is I'll just make it as promote to front page. Okay, and I'll save it. Okay, and if we go to the home page again, you can see that message which was coming is gone, and the content which is just created is come. Okay, so we can just create an information content here, or any content type we can create and probably like make it promoted to front page. Okay. So these lines are coming off the because of the theme. Okay, so we won't try to solve them. So uh, like just the last thing about the view, we'll create one more view about for the daily reports. Okay. Okay, so I'm just continuing with the last part of it. What I'll do is I'll go to the views again. I'm on the views. I'm trying to create, what I'm trying to create is this page right here. Okay, the reports page. where it shows all the reports. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to reports. Okay, this is a view what we created for the reports. I'll just go this, and then okay, I'll create a page view. Okay, this is a view which is created. We can create multiple displays. Okay, so now this is a block display what we're having. Okay, I'll go ahead and create a page display. Okay, so now we have to do all the settings for the page display. So instead of grade here, I'll be using probably a HTML list or unformatted. So let's try unformatted list. So now this is important. Okay, if you do save this without any changes to this, it will make the changes to this other block layout also. Okay, just make sure you select the proper one. Select this as this page override and apply this display. Okay, and apply. And instead of content teaser, I want to show the full content here, all the images and all. Just click on this teaser. Instead of teaser, I'll select default and apply. And then after that, yeah, so after that, uh, uh, okay, so I selected thing as default. Okay, now since you are selected as page, you see error messages coming here. So what we need to do is we'll just create a path. Okay, you can see the error message here. Since it's a display of type page, it needs to have a path. Okay, and it doesn't need to be in a menu. We can add a menu later, but it needs to be it needs to have a path. Okay, so let's try create a path called as all reports. Okay, hopefully this will work. Not sure. I think, yeah. Let's try this. I think structure is. Yeah. Okay, so I can use the name as all reports, and suppose you want to add a menu here itself. Okay, you can follow the same method, normal menu entry, and then just add it as reports. Okay, apply. And then we want to show all the items. Okay, we want to use a pagination. Okay, so suppose there are like lots of items, you don't want to show everything on one page. So suppose in this case I added only 4 items. Okay, 4 reports. So what I'll do is I'll just try to show the pager option. I'll just select this page output full option, this thing, and then this page override. Can apply to this display, and then items per page I'll keep it as 3, and then apply. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll save it. Okay, let's see if it's come up on site. Okay, not this one. Okay, so the link is come, and let's see if the data is coming properly. Okay, it's coming. Latest daily report for 2nd Jan, then the report date and the main report and additional reports, then the report for 1st June, report date, main report. Okay, so all the data which was added, all the additional images are also coming here. Then we can design it the way we want. Okay, I'm just doing the basic version of it. Okay, you can see on the screen everything is come, and also we can see the, okay, on this page is showing only three reports. Then if you want to show the more reports, you can click on this pagination. Okay, and it takes you to this page 1. It shows the remaining one. Okay, so this is the way we can create the views, and we can use the Yeah, we can use the display modes also. Okay, for this view we have created two displays: the block display, which is used to display a block on the home page with the grid settings, and then on the page we are using the we are showing all the reports. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just let's try to add one contact form. The last. Okay. So also when you install Drupal, right, we get normally you see when you visit any websites, you see contact forms. Okay. So once you install Drupal, also we get contact forms. So if you go to structure, contact forms, you'll see some already added form called as website feedback. Okay. You can edit it, and by default, if you see the manage form display, you can see some forms which are already there. I mean the fields which are already there, and also you can add your own fields. Okay, custom fields, and also if you go back, then forms, you can add your own forms. Okay, and each form will have a path. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just try to link this form to the home, like the menu. Okay, so normally to access the form, what we need to do is the form which is there by default on Drupal will be accessible on this path. Okay, so this is the form what we just saw. Website feedback, your name and address is already filled up because you're logged in. Okay, so now I'll just try to link it in this menu. Okay, so what I need to do is, now we saw like while creating the views, we saw like how we can change the view settings and link the view to the menu, right? So now we'll try to explicitly modify the menu. Okay, so the menu is under this structure menus, and then we can go to main navigation. Okay, since we are doing the adding a link for main navigation, we have to go to this. Also, I told you about the user account menu, which is coming on top. I think for this, okay, I'm already logged in since it's not coming. We come for the Batik theme, but let's work only with this main navigation. Okay, just edit this menu. Okay, I can see the three links are shown here: homepage, hospitals, reports, and then I'll add one more link. Okay, click on add link, contact, and then I need to add the path. Okay. Since we know the path of the contact form is /contact, I'll add this here, /contact and enabled, and I think I need to show it. Let's give it 0 and see what happens. Okay. If you go to main menu, okay, so this is coming on top, so we want it at the end, right? So what I'll do is I'll change the order of this. Since we have 0 1 2 3, I'll add the weight as 3 here. Okay, let's go to edit menu again. Okay, you can see the order is proper now: home, hospitals, reports, contact. So this is a way we can change the order of the menu items. Okay, and if we go to home page, okay, and if you go to, you can see the link is come up. Okay, and you can click on contact. You can try submitting also. Okay, so yeah, so this is a way we can manipulate the menus, and we can add more contact forms also. The views part also explained. Uh, yeah, that's it from my side. I think hopefully this was helpful to understand the basic. I think within like 2 hours we was able to build a small website related to COVID. Okay, the visual parts, maybe we have to spend a little more time to update that logo and other stuff and all, but we was able to quickly set up the site around 2 hours. Okay, 2.5 hours maybe. So this is the power of Drupal. Okay, if you know the site building very well, even in one day, like even within a few hours, you can set up some websites. Okay, but if you need to know do the complex things, work with e-commerce sites, social networking sites, then we need to know like little bit about Drupal development. Okay. But if you have followed this properly, if you try it out after the workshop after watching the video and all, you'll be able to do a lot of things with this knowledge itself. Okay. So yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.